Good day everyone. This is our report. It's all about planning, implementing, and evaluating. Understand the connection. So here's the desired learning outcomes that you need to achieve at the end of our lesson.
First, analyze the relationship between planning and implementing in curriculum development. Second, explain the connection of curriculum implementation and evaluation. Third, discuss the interrelatedness of curriculum development and curriculum planning. Last, interpret the overall relationship of planning, implementing, and evaluating in curriculum development.
So now, here's the take-up. The question is, does the curriculum development end with evaluation? Yes, according to Helbataba and Rart-Taylor. However, since curriculum development is a continuous process,
it can also be viewed like a pie. Pie stands for planning, implementing, and evaluating. Pie is a cyclical process, which means that after evaluating, the process of planning starts again.
The evaluation cycle, the connection. So, as you can see, there is a pie, so we have planning, implementing, and evaluating.
Planning, implementing, and assessing are three processes in curriculum development that are taken separately but are connected to each other. It means even they have a specific task to do in developing the curriculum, they have one goal, and it's to have an effective curriculum because the curriculum cannot function if planning is the only process. But if planning, implementing, and evaluating as well written and they are connected to each other, then we can have an effective curriculum.
The cycle continues as each is embedded in the dynamic change that happen in curriculum development. So, curriculum can be also changed. So, here's the key idea of planning. Planning is an initial step in curriculum development.
Planning is an initial process in curriculum development. It includes determining the needs through an assessment, because it will help you determine what needs to be accomplished to reach your project goals, and determining the needs through assessment will inform project overall plan and approaches by helping you identify targeted strategies.
Needs would include those of the learners, the teachers, the community, and the society as these relate to curriculum. After the needs have been identified, the intended outcomes are set. Intended outcomes should be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, with result, and within the frame of time.
When we say specific, the intended outcome should be well-defined and clear. It says exactly what will be accomplished. When we say measurable, it should provide targets so that you will determine when the target has been reached, by how much it has been exceeded, or by how much it has fallen short. When we say attainable, the intended outcome should be accomplished in the proposed time frame with the available resources and support, and the student have the prior learning necessary to accomplish the learning outcomes. When we see relevant test objectives address the overall program goals, build objectives have an impact on the goals which is relevant and frame time. The intended outcomes include a specific date at which it will be completed. It is important to allow enough time to successfully implement the step needed to achieve intended outcomes. What I've said earlier, if the curriculum is organized and well written, Then we can achieve this kind of intended outcomes and help you to focus your effort and increase the chances of achieving your goal.
Intended outcomes should be doable, achievable, and desired.
So, for you to have achievable outcomes, it needs to be realistic and attainable to become successful. After establishing this, then a curriculist should find out and planning the ways of achieving the desired outcomes. These are ways and means and the strategies to achieve outcomes. Together with the methods and strategies are the identification of support materials. All of this should be written and should include the means of evaluation, so it is important to include evaluation. Its purpose is to make judgment about the program to improve its effectiveness. An example of a curriculum plan is a lesson plan. It is a written document. Many planners would say a good plan is half of the work done. The end product of planning is a written document. Some outputs of the curriculum planning are lesson plans, unit plan, syllabus, course design, modules, books, instructional guides, or even a new science curriculum plan.
So here's the key idea: implementation continues after planning. What should be implemented? The planned curriculum which was written should be implemented. It has to be put into action or used by a curriculum implementer, which is the teacher. Curriculum plan should not remain as a written document. Why? Because it will become useless. A curriculum planner can also be a curriculum implementer. In fact, a curriculum planner who implements the curriculum must have a full grasp of what is to be done. This is an important role of the teacher. Teacher helps students develop an engaged relationship with the content. Active learning will increase the focus and retention of the curriculum, resulting in an exciting and effective learning environment. With a well-written curriculum plan, a teacher can execute this with the help of instructional materials, equipment, resource materials, and enough time. The curriculum implementer must also see to it that the plan which serves as a guide is executed correctly. The skill and the ability of the teacher to impart and guide learning are necessary in the curriculum implementation. Outcomes will be achieved in the implementation. Next, evaluation follows implementation. The focus of this chapter is evaluation after planning and implementation was done. It is very necessary to find out at this point if the plan or written curriculum was implemented successfully and the desired learning outcomes were achieved. Curriculum evaluation as a big idea may follow evaluation models which can be used for programs and projects. These models discuss in the previous lesson guide the process and the corresponding tools that will be used to measure outcomes. However, when used for assessment of learning, which is also evaluation, more attention is given to levels of assessment for the levels of learning outcomes as defined by the Department of Education. The use of the description for the proficiency, the learner is described by the qualified values of the weighted test scores in an interval scale. And now we already know and understand that what has been planned should be implemented and what has been implemented should be evaluated. And finally, the PIE stands for planning, implementing, and evaluating. The cyclical flow of the three processes in curriculum development is very easy to remember and follow. So as a curricularist, these guiding ideas clarify our understanding that one cannot assess what was not taught, nor implement what was not planned. So, we always remember that plan, then implement, then evaluate, and the next cycle begins. So thank you for listening. We hope that you understand and learn new ideas and knowledge from our discussion.